Hi Tarot Rebels, and welcome to today's video. My name is Michaela from Tarot Rebel and I'm super happy to see you joining us. Today I will be doing a VR to Pappa Squirrel's video. If all my decks disappeared, what would I rebuy? Because I think it's a really amazing idea, and because I have so many decks, as you can see, all of these here are mentioned in the video. If you want to check his video, I will leave the link in the description box down below so you can check it out and compare, maybe get some deck list if you really want, or some declutter ideas if you want. This is not a tarot reading. If you want a reading with me, as usual, you can book one with me using the details in the description box down below, but that's about it. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video if you like it. And now I will get down to business. Hi Tarot Rebels, and welcome back. As I said, I'm going to do this what decks would I rebuy if given the opportunity. And let's start with classic decks. What do I mean by classic decks is the usual RWS system, regardless of the colors or the style they might be in. Obviously, the Centennial Tarot, everyone knows it. It's a classic by now. And what can I say more about this deck? In this box lives only the deck. I have the extra cards in a different wood box. I think I have the guidebook there as well. The box is like this, comes in a tuck box cardboard thingy. I cannot imagine it standing the test of time. The sock is the usual one. As you can see, there's a light bend to them, and they shuffle really easily. Now mine, they're in order because I usually use them for comparison when I read for other decks. I just like the muted color palette. I think it speaks to me more than anything. And probably you've seen the deck already, but I'm just gonna shuffle through it like this so you can see some of the cards, just in case you're curious. And I think this deck exists in other forms as well. I think there's a version in a tin. I wasn't really interested to purchase that because I have other decks in a tin. Not really a fan of, honestly. And I think this is my favorite version of the classic. Not sure if I mentioned that. And this is why I would probably replace it if I lost it, or God forbid something happens to it. And what else? I think I pair this with a lot of decks, but I usually use it for clarifying stuff. So it's not my main deck for reading. I would read with it for people, not for myself. I think it's boring. I'm sorry. I know lots of people appreciate the art. I do appreciate it a lot. It's just not, it doesn't have that wow factor. And for those of you who wear headphones, I'm sorry for that noise. Yeah, this is the Smith-Waite Tarot deck Centennial Edition. It's as usual made by US Games. So I would definitely recommend this to a beginner, or even a seasoned reader, just because it's nice to have the diversity, and it's a very versatile deck. But if I didn't have that, because this was my first deck exactly in this shape and form, as I said, I do have lots of decks in a tin. The Radiant Rider-Waite Smith, I used to think this was the best option for me. It's a nice box, it's a nice package. I'm not gonna say anything, but the colors are so intense sometimes they are kind of annoying. And because this isn't a borderless edition, you cannot see the art that well. Obviously I've used it for a while before I got something else, and no, it wasn't the Centennial one, but it's a nice deck. I feel like the cards get tougher to shuffle after a while. I don't really particularly love it. They do have a slight bend to it, and as you can see, the edges, they become not necessarily dirty, it's just like the paper kind of frays, I think that's the word here, and it becomes difficult to shuffle, difficult to handle, and obviously I don't use it as much. I probably haven't used this one in, I want to say 6 months. So this is the Rider-Waite Smith tarot deck in general. I'm just gonna put these aside and I'm going to show you this one. So I think I filmed a walkthrough of this tarot of the Marseille Waite. It's basically a Waite inspired deck. It's not a pip deck like the Marseille ones are, but every court card is drawn in that vein. So these are the backs, very beautiful, very Marseille-like. I do think this is a classic in the making, and I like this new version of the art, reimagined in a Marseille style, but still maintaining the RWS kind of images. So you can see here, this is not a pip card. This is not a pip card. This is not a pip card. I just like the art. It's and I like the coloring as well. I know it's intense, and I usually don't like intense colors, although you might disagree with me once you see the other decks I've chosen for today. But I just absolutely adore this deck, and it reads like a dream, right? I'm gonna shuffle through the cards, and what else do I need to tell you about what I got it from? It was from this company, Edition Trajectory, I think. I don't know. I got it from France. It took ages to come here because Brexit and some other stuff. So it's not an easy to get a hold of deck, but I think it's decent pricing for the quality of it, for the art of it. I just like it, and I don't know, I would pair it with most decks. I don't think this is a very picky deck in terms of answering questions. I would see it again as a general deck, use it for general readings regardless of who you read for, and that's about it. This is a deck. I will post a walkthrough soon if you want to see it. It's gonna be up on my channel soon. Yeah, it did come with this drawstring bag, and it's not amazing. So if you have the chance to do your own bags, I'm lazy. I'm not gonna do it, obviously, but I just really, really like it. So this is one of my favorite decks, and I would repurchase actually, let me show you all of them with the titles here. Okay, I would repurchase all of these. Probably not the Radiant. This wouldn't be my first choice, but these two I would repurchase definitely. So moving on, we have everyday decks, and by everyday decks, what do I mean? These are for me the decks I would read for myself or for others without any difficulties. The art speaks to me regardless of the season, of the, I don't know, the month. They just work well in every situation and every condition. This one I saw in a Facebook group, and I was like stunned by the images, and I was like, I have to have it. This one I got it from eBay. It was just an accidental purchase because I have never heard of this deck, and I definitely feel like it should be more famous because it's amazing. But let's go to the Ostara Tarot. So for a mass market deck, but because I know it looks so lush, it looks gorgeous, right? It's just a really well made deck, and it's made by Red Feather, and they do have some really nice quality products, I would say. It opens like this. It has a magnetic clasp and the thingy here that you can pull to set aside. Sorry for that. If you hear any noise, it's my neighbors as usual. I don't like the way the cards sit in the box. I'm not super mad about it. This is divider, I would say, just so that you don't have any rattle in the box. This is the book. I'm struggling right now to find it. So the deck was made by 4 authors, and you have their names here. So it's Molly Applejohn, Eden Cook, Krista Gibbard, and Julia Ardell. Some people, I know, they don't like the lack of cohesiveness because of the multi-author kind of deck, but it's a really well made deck. The book is full color, and I like that. For the majors, you have the card on one side and the meaning on the other page. For minors, you have on the same page the image and the meaning of the card. Let me show you some of these cards. So each of the authors created one of the suits. So one of them created the swords, one of them created the pentacles, again the swords, the cups. I think this is the cups again. I have trouble with some of the cards, but I think the overall meaning is really, really nice. I'm sorry for the glare, they're very glossy. And this is the wands, right? Swords again, wands again, pentacles. As you can see, the art differs quite a lot, and the majors are a common effort, right? I really like it. I think it reads amazingly well, for me at least. I know every time I use it, people ask me, what deck is this? Where did you get it from? And I'm like, oh, it's such an amazing little deck, you know? Like, you can see the artwork shining through, regardless of who created it, right? So this is the deck. I would say, oh, also it has gilding for those of you who care. I mean, I've had it for quite some time now, and you can see some chipping on the side. I'm not upset by it because I use it a lot. I use it on its own, I think. It works well with other decks as well, and I think it's very clear because I don't usually need a translator deck to finish off my reading when I use this. So I really appreciate that in a deck. Trying to put these together and finish off. So I would definitely rebuy this because it's not super expensive. I think I paid £25 on it. Not that much, I would say. The only qualm with it would be this box, but I've been using it for years now, and I really don't have a problem with it. So, oops, dropped something. Okay, I'm back. So, the Dreaming Way Tarot. This is a very cozy deck and very straight to the point. I think I filmed a walkthrough for this as well. Yeah. So, I still have a card there. It fits so snug in the box because I also keep the little white book with it, so it's kind of difficult not to miss a card. It's your standard US Game Systems deck. It has like a very weird pattern on the back. If you're not into that kind of stuff, it's gonna be difficult. So this is a very fashionable deck, I would say, because everyone has a certain style, which I really appreciate. I cannot pinpoint exactly what the style is. It's just something I really, it pleases my eyes. I got it from eBay, and I didn't even know that this deck existed. I didn't think I would love it, but definitely it's so much more than that. It's the art is cute and cuddly in a way, but the messages are loud and clear. Again, this Four of Cups, I really like it. You can see the opportunities surrounding this person and them being, nothing suits me, nothing is what I want, blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. It's just so cute, and I would definitely, if I had if I knew a child that was interested in tarot, this would be one of the decks I would point them to, because it's cute and very easy to read. The instructions are very straightforward. I don't rely on that book anyway. So what else? I don't mind pairing this with light or dark decks, because I think it works very well in both ways, and it has its own voice. I can pair it on its own, or with an oracle deck, or even with a tarot deck, and I actually quite like pairing it with these decks. So I have Tarot of the Pagan Cats. I know it's the mini version, but let me show you how cute this is. And yes, I do have the book, which I've never used. I'm gonna bring these closer. It's such a nice Los Carabeo deck, and I think this one, it's so joyful and so playful. I think this is why they go so well together. See? I really like it. It's one of my favorite decks. I know it's super small and difficult to read. I cannot read it without my glasses, but I just love it. And these are the backs. And for reference, this is how it fits in my hand. And I also have this Tarot of the Little Prince. It's, I don't remember where I got it from. I think it was in the beginning, when I wasn't really aware of the fact that people counterfeit decks, and I'm not sure my copy is genuine, but look at this gorgeous art. This lover's card is one of my favorites, and I think this deck has my favorite Queen of Pentacles. Let me find her. She's stunning. Where are you? Queen of Pentacles. It's related to the story, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. This is the Queen of Pentacles. See? She is so gorgeous. It's like, how can I not love this deck? And thinking about it, I should purchase the real copy, because clearly this is not one I should have. But it's I've been reading with it for such a long time, and so well, and it's so loud and clear, this deck. I'm not even, I sometimes even forget that this is not a deck that's made in ethical conditions, if that's even a thing. But yeah, these decks are everyday decks, which I really appreciate using, and I do recommend them to anyone, actually, beginner or seasoned reader. Okay, oops. So for my worm decks, I only have this one, and that came as a shock to me. I wasn't expecting this, but I do love the Sakurai Bito Tarot. I have the 7th edition, and it's by Stasia Burrington. I think I filmed the walkthrough, and it's live on my channel, so you can see my opinions on this deck there. But this deck is a warm hug for me. It's one of my favorite. It feels like such a nice and kind addition to my collection. Look at this color palette. It's just stunning, and the line work and the colors, I cannot gush over it enough. Like, this is my favorite card. If you've watched my walkthrough, you must have seen that this edition has a slight defect, and by defect this card had to be replaced, because I think there were 2 aces of cups and 1 single 5 of wands. No 5 of wands, sorry. And this is a replacement card, and it's not the same size as the rest of the deck. I do have a special connection with this deck because of that Five of Wands. And it also works really well for others, not just for me. It's not really a workhorse deck just because it's so sensible. It's so so discreet in a reading, in a way. It's just super special to me, so I will use it whenever I feel drawn to it. So as I said, I use it for myself if I need a pick-me-up, or I use it in someone who's struggling for a bit. I can pair it with anything, I think. I do prefer an animal deck, and mostly the Anima Mundi or the Naked Tarot deck. And I also love using the Dark Shadows Oracle deck with this this tarot, just because they complement each other so well. So give me 1 second to bring the other decks as well so I can show you them. Okay, so as I said, I usually like to pair this with either the Anima Mundi. This is how it looks like. It's a nice deck. It's gilded. It's very pippish, so some of you might not resonate with it. It also doesn't have any humans in it, but it's super kind, just like the Sakurai Bito Tarot. And same with the Naked Heart. Okay, this is from my last reading because I remember it. I got the Devil, the Hermit, and the Spirit of Pentacles. So again, this is a very wide space deck, very kind. It's a very healing deck, so if I would use this on myself, I would definitely pair it with the Sakurai Bito Tarot because they do work well together. I love this Judgment card. It's one of my favorite judgment cards. So is this Fool. And yeah, gorgeous deck. Took a while to find it. It was very, very difficult, but it's okay. Probably I wouldn't repurchase these, but I'll have a think. In terms of Oracle decks, I would pair the Sakurai Bito with this Dark Mirror deck, and I think I called it Dark Shadows, which is incorrect. I love this deck. It's so direct. I'm sorry if the glare is too much to handle. And you can see I've used these quite a bit because they have these are the cards with the most bend to them in my collection. So I love this deck. I think it's so simple in revealing something that you need to heal, and then the Sakurai Bito works on the other side of the issue and helps you heal it. This one shows you what to heal, and this one shows you how to heal it. So they actually work great together. This is why I pair them a lot. Okay, so this is my... Sorry, I forgot to mention that the Sakurai Bito Tarot is a bit worn. I don't mind it though. Also, it has the gilding. I'm not sure if I mentioned it. So, if we have warm decks, we also have the dark ones, right? And what's darker than the Deviant Moon Tarot? It's probably one of my favorite decks ever, and I will never let me lose this one. It's something I come back to over and over and over again. I like the style of the cards because they're so thin and tall. I like the color palette. The cards are so rich. Like, look at this Chariot, look at this Lover cards. Oh gosh. Look at this Judgment card. It's freaking amazing. This Two of Cups. This is one of my favorite Eight of Wands, and I really dislike this card. Oh, this is one of the least favorite Devil cards I've ever seen because it's so... The art is complacent in in this card, but I don't have any other issues with the other ones, like the Four of Wands, Three of Swords, Ten of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Swords. This Five of Pentacles is just gorgeous, and it's one of my first decks that I ever bought. I think it's my second or my third one, and I went back and forth. Is this too much to handle, especially as a newbie? Is this something I should not read with because maybe it will draw negative energy in a way? I don't know. It's just like so many. This is the same image they have on the book, because I purchased the massive book that it comes with. Somehow I just couldn't forget about this deck. I couldn't let go of it, and I know the art is a bit out there for some folks. It's a solid deck through and through for me, and I'm sure for other people as well. And I know some people also use it only during Halloween. It's not a Halloween deck. Like, look at this. This is a gorgeous death card. So creative to think of this depiction of the death card, because it's basically rebirth. It's not death. I just can't get enough of it. I cannot stop gushing over it. This is my one of my favorite Nine of Pentacles. How can you not love this card? And this Knight of Cups, and this Three of Wands, and this Eight of Pentacles, and this Star. And, oh, this Fool is gorgeous. So yeah, this is one dark deck that I would definitely repurchase if something happened to it. So next we have special decks. These are my special decks. I would definitely repurchase all of these, because I just cannot imagine reading without them. So without further ado, I'm just gonna push the Gorgon's Tarot to the side. Start with my beloved Mariel Tarot. I do have the second edition. I would love to have the first one, but obviously it's difficult to purchase. This is produced by Red Feather, again, high quality, again with very encompassing book. It's a mix of RWS thought and numerology, so it has a lot of information. There's a wealth of knowledge in this book and this deck, and it has some of my favorite cards, like this Judgment card. I like it. It's the Phoenix. Why? How can I not like it? This Ace of Wands, again, I like it a lot. But moving forward very, very, very fast, this Six of Swords is one of my favorites. And where's my Nine of Pentacles? Sorry, Nine of Discs. This is my favorite card ever. It has almost 3 pages of information on the symbolism and the meanings of the card. So even if you don't read tarot, I think this is a good source of information if you're interested in the esoteric. I don't use this deck on... Oh, I had it here because I always show it to the people. I don't use this deck on other people. Sorry. It just feels super personal to me. It has a silver gilding, and the cards are standard size. This is how they look like. I did feel at sometimes that this would be useful on others as well. Oh, this Queen of Discs she's gorgeous, and this Ten of Swords. So I've used it on rare occasions on others, but I usually use it on myself. This Queen of Cups is amazing. I don't know, all the cards are just gorgeous to me, and I just cannot get enough of this intricate art. And also there's some nudity in this deck. Sorry for those of you who are not interested in that. What would I pair with this? I usually pair this deck, Margaret Peterson Tarot. Again, a very difficult deck to get your hands on. It was a struggle for me. I think they both are my safety blanket, especially together. And this is how this deck is still in order. So the Margaret Peterson Tarot deck works really well with the Mario. Sorry, I was just checking if I have any other cards there. So they work really well together. As you can see, the art is super abstract, very, very mystical in a way. It's so enticing, so different. It kind of calls my intuition in a very distinct way. Why do I pair it with the Mariel? It's just this one has such a strict, rigid structure, and this one, I mean, the trial card for the Hangman is something else. But usually, if you go to, this is the Devil. If you go to the minors, you will see that the art is a lot different. It's more, it kind of tingles and tantalizes your intuition, if you want. It's mesmerizing in a way that's not possible with a regular deck. It's dreamy and wild and confusing, and it kind of makes me think outside the box, if you want. So the feelings I get when I use these decks, together or separate, they're unparalleled in terms of how they make me feel and meditate. It's such a rich experience to use them together. I just cannot I cannot express it well in words how all of this is an immense mesmerizing experience. This is, I think, so the Margaret Peterson comes in a couple types of boxes. I have the tuck box. I'm not super unhappy about it. I know there's a 2004 edition, which is a 2-part box. People love that one. It's very difficult to get a hold on. I would love to have it, obviously. I'm happy with the one I have, and I still use it, no problems. I know some people do trim this deck because it's so huge, and the backs, again, they have a border to them. I don't care about this, honestly. I don't. And the last deck in this special pile is, let me move these a bit, is the Gorgon's Tarot. So the Gorgon calls to me, and this deck by Dolores Ficci, I've seen it on, I think this is made by Red Feather again, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, my English is in pain right now. No, it's made by Schiffer. I'm sorry for that. I saw this deck on Lissa's channel, and this is how it looks like inside. You have this massive round deck and this tiny booklet. The good thing, this is a black and white deck with the exception of 2 cards. So the first card, I think it's the Devil, which is my card. So obviously, I mean, you cannot see it in this booklet. And then the other card that's that has a bit of red in it is the Gorgon card. It's the extra card in the deck. I'm gonna try and find it here. So again, this is a wealth of knowledge. The book, I know it looks really tiny and small. It's such an interesting deck to go through. And again, I use it for myself. I am drawn by black and white cards, and I do have quite a few of them. So I do have the Hermetic Tarot, the Inversion Tarot, the 1964 Brotherhood of Light, But this one is different. I do like the cards. I know they're huge, even for my hands. They're really difficult to shuffle because they're so glossy and they stick together in a way that's annoying. But they're perfect for setting intentions while shuffling them. And actually the size and the gloss and the stickiness of them are contributing factors to the success of this action. I don't know, I don't pair it with something else because as I said, I use it to set intentions and find answers because they're very, I'm very prone to meditation when I use them, right? As you can see, I have trouble showing you the cards because they're so huge. I will never part with this deck. I think it's amazing and I use it on myself quite a lot. I'm just trying to see if I can find, oops, the devil card. There you go. Lots of red. And let's see. This is how I usually shuffle it because of the size of it and the fact that it's round. And this is the Gorgon, the blind Gorgon card, right? These are the only two cards that are black and white, and they're just gorgeous. So these are my special decks. I probably won't use them on you. I'll just save them for myself. And I actually started when I was noting down my ideas, I started with these three decks because I was like, oh, if I lose my cards, I need the Mariel, the Margaret Peterson, and the Gorgon's Tarot. I definitely need them. So there you go. Okay, so we're almost done, I promise. These are the decks that nearly made the list. And what do I mean by that? I use them quite a lot on myself and others, and I do enjoy flipping through them, but it's just not there, you know. I wouldn't miss the Anima Mundi if I lost it. So as I said, it works with everything. I absolutely love the art. I love the animals. Works with everything. The message is clear. It doesn't really matter which deck I'm pairing it with. I like the cardstock, how it's presented, but I wouldn't lose any sleep over this deck, right? It's nice. It's okay. I've seen. This is one of my favorite 4 of Wands, honestly. But that's about it. The Naked Heart Tarot. So, wow, this box is so annoying. I lusted after this deck for such a long time. Honestly, you wouldn't believe it. And when the time came, I just didn't feel it, you know, like, yeah, the art is nice. It's quite colorful and yet minimalistic. I like the white space. It gives me space and time to think. I like this 10 of Wands, for example. I like this 8 of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles. I like this Wheel of Fortune. I like the 8 of Swords. But it's just, if I lost it, I just buy something else. Also, some people have pointed out that there are similarities between this deck and the Wild Unknown deck, which I don't have because I'm just looking at the images and I'm like, it's pretty, but it doesn't work for me. I love this this flamingo. I do find them different, so it's not because I think this is a copy of that, because I don't think it is, just because some art is similar. But then again, lots of decks look really similar at the end of the day. It doesn't really bother me. This can be a very introspective deck. Like, look at this Sky Father, gorgeous. This Magician. it's very difficult to, this is the extra card, the Naked Heart. It's very difficult to buy this deck in the UK, so probably if I lost it, I wouldn't be bothered to go through the hassle again, just to have it in my collection. So yeah, I like this tower though, and this Heart of Wands, gorgeous. And one Sun card that I like. Okay, so these two are the decks I would not struggle to repurchase, and they nearly made the list. These are the decks that didn't make the list, unfortunately. So these are some of my high collectible decks, which I would definitely not repurchase. Sorry, the Geiger Tarot. I'm not sure if you've seen this one. It's basically a deck made using Geiger's art. If you're not familiar with his work, he's the guy that basically designed the monsters in Alien. I found quite a nice preserved copy. It's a majors only deck. It's really occult and disturbing. I mean, what did you expect? I'm not gonna show you much of these because I don't want to get banned. But as much as I like the deck, I never used it. I just have it for its sentimental value, because I love Alien, I love Geiger, and when I saw there's a deck based on his art, I was like, I have to have this. So I just got it. This is the deck. It's a vintage collectible. What else do I have? I have the Oak, Ash and Thorn. I love this deck. I actually do. I like the ethical producing of it. I like the artwork. It's just, I don't read that much with it. I don't reach out to read with the deck for myself or others. I think I kind of bought into the hype, honestly, and because I was very earthy at that time, I kind of fell into it. I love this Hermit. It's a nice deck. It's a high quality deck. I will buy the other two that they're printing. I don't know when they're coming out. The next one, I think it's Smoke, Ash and Embers. I think it's a dragon based deck. I'm really bad with dragons. I just couldn't care less about them. I just want to support the artist because I do like the art, and I do like to support companies that are trying to do decks in a very environmentally friendly way. So if it counts for anything, I will buy it just for that, because I think they're worth it, and lots of companies should kind of do the same in my book. What else do I have? Deva Tarot. So I don't know if this is a high collectible deck. I really don't know. I think I filmed my walkthrough a couple of weeks ago, and I'm sure you've seen it. This is the deck. It has 93 cards, so kind of difficult to shuffle through them. I'm just gonna randomly show them to you. This is a 1986 deck. I think it's my second oldest deck, and it has one extra suit, one extra card, and I just like it. I just love it. I don't know, I saw it once on eBay and I was like, I have to have this, and I did everything in my power to manage to snatch a copy, and I did. Would I repurchase it? Probably not. Another deck I would not repurchase is the Pagan Otherworlds. Oh wow, why don't you want it? Because everyone wants it. It's not that I don't want it. I don't use it. I think it photographs really nicely, and I like the quality of it. But again, this is for a very earthy person, and that's not me. I like the art. I do think it's gorgeous. The quality of the production is fantastic. I would definitely recommend this to a collector, but this is not an everyday deck. Not unless you want to buy like 2 copies of it just to make sure it doesn't scratch, it doesn't bend, it doesn't wrinkle, crease, whatever. It's a gorgeous deck. It has such a buttery feeling to it, and I like the art. It's just not my go-to, let's say. And last but not least, we have this Brotherhood of Light. This is a deck from 1964 based on a design in 1936. And as you can see, it cost $4.50. This is a deck. This is my oldest deck in my collection. It's a very thought-inspired deck. Sometimes the cards stick to the bottom of the box. As you can see, the box is quite not in good shape. Why did I got it? Why did I get it? I don't know. It's just kind of cold to me in a way, in a weird way. I'm not into that side of tarot that is very esoterical, but I do have some of the weird decks out there that kind of cater to that side. I got it for study because I think it's a good deck to study, and I've managed to find a book that technically it's based the deck is based on, and I'm waiting to arrive because this deck didn't come with the guidebook. So if you just look at the images, you cannot extrapolate any of your RWS or Marseille or whatever knowledge, because it probably won't work. It's not very intuitive to read. So if you don't know, I mean, this is an Ace of Cups, that's easy. Then you have the Two of Cups. But what does it mean in this context? Because as you can see, you have some symbols here, right? This is Pisces, and this is Scorpio. Yeah, so there are a lot of correspondences that you need to learn before using this, and I'm happy with that. I'm honestly not mad about it. As much as I love these decks, all of them actually, so this one, oops, I'm just trying to make sense of things. As much as I love them, I don't think they're influential in my life because I don't use them on a day-to-day basis. So it doesn't make sense to repurchase them, because when I bought them out of excitement, and not because, well, maybe the Geiger Tarot meant something to me because yeah, I'm a fan, but the rest of them, they're not massively impactful in my life, so I don't see why I should buy them. So that's it for me. These are the decks I would repurchase and why, and some of them that almost made the list and why not, and some of the decks that didn't make the list and again why they didn't. I would love to hear your opinions in the comment section down below. Do you have any of these decks? What do you think of them, obviously? And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, share, subscribe to my channel, and also don't forget, I would love to see you in another video. In the meantime, sending you all my love. Thank you and bye.